Hi everybody, welcome back to the Dimir Flash Standard Week. I wasn't getting the most competitive decks from the opponents in the traditional standard event, so we're going to jump onto the ladder and see if we can find some more of the Tier 1 matchups. Alright, we'll play first. And this is a key. Yeah, we've got pretty much everything here. We just need the Slither Wisp, but I like having a good combination of creatures as well as removal and counter magic. And one play that I mentioned in the deck tech is if we can find the Octopus, we can mutate that onto the Spectral Sailor and quickly start building up some nice card advantage. As it stands, we're likely to flash in the Cunning Nightbonder here. And one of the really nice things about this deck is if you can get early pressure with a couple creatures on the board, it really makes sitting back on the counter spells much more effective. So I imagine they'll probably pick off the Brazen Borrower here. And I'm not really sure exactly what we're up against. I've been running into a lot of companion decks on the ladder, but this deck is not playing a companion. Certainly Gyruda and Lurrus are still the most popular. One card I'm strongly considering adding to the sideboard in response to all of the Lurrus decks is Cry of the Carnarian. That seems extremely strong against them. Alright, let's continue to pressure the opponent's life total here. And then we'll have the option of either flashing in a Brazen Borrower here or potentially bouncing something. And yeah, it's important not to get too hung up on trying to get maximum value out of every card. Certainly playing Brazen Borrower as a 3/1 flyer is quite good in this situation. Oh, and there's the Octopus, so this is excellent. We are going to mutate this onto the Sailor, as that is the most likely card to be able to continue getting in for damage, and it actually does an additional point of damage since the power and toughness of the Octopus are higher than the Sailors. And yeah, it's up to our opponent now to really respond to what we are doing. Okay. So this is some sort of an Abzan control deck on the other side there. Castle Lochthwain is an excellent draw. Let's go ahead and get in with the Nightbonder here. And depending on what our opponent does, we'll either draw a card or flash in the Brazen Borrower. This is actually a tricky decision. I do like continuing to pressure them. It seems like they've got a lot of removal in hand, so it's probably a slightly better use of our turn to build up our resources a bit here. Okay, so I would like to flash in the Octopus. Let's attack first. See if they have a removal spell for the Nightbonder. Okay, so they're just going to make a 1/1 here. So actually, let's go to full control. We are going to bounce the 1/1. Want to make sure I'm tapping properly here. Ooh, yeah, we'll bounce the 1/1. I was thinking about playing the Heartless Act on it, but let's really try to get value from our cards at this point. And now let's flash in the Octopus. Oh, okay, we can't mutate it onto the Nightbonder. That is important. Okay, so we'll hold off on doing that part. We'll flash in the Brazen Borrower end of turn here. Yeah, I have to keep reminding myself that the Nightbonder is not a valid mutate target. maybe even another reason to consider cutting this from the deck. Okay. So he's going to have enough to be able to exile one thing from a graveyard. Let's go to the end of the turn. We'll Heartless Act to get rid of the Enforcer. They will likely exile a card from a graveyard, but then we can flash in the Borrower and mutate the Octopus onto it on our turn. And this puts us in really nice shape here. Oh, and the Slitherwisp will allow us to drain them for one by flashing the Octopus in here. And yeah, we'll keep the higher power creature and swing away. Okay, so we're going to be one blue off of exactly lethal, but flashing in the Cutthroat and then the Sailor will do it. And even if they had a sweeper, we could just simply flash in the Cutthroat at the end of their turn. Okay, so in a very removal heavy deck, Keep Safe is going to work really well. I feel like I didn't see too many must remove creatures from, but let's actually get rid of a lot of the mystical disputes as they are not playing blue. And in that case, I imagine that probably Heartless Act is okay to bring in, as well as, I guess, one Thought Erasure. Let's run it like this. And yeah, we've got Slitherwisp, we got some Scry, and a Counterspell. Good enough for me. Okay, and this changes things a little bit. We're going to play out the island here so we can flash in the Spectral Sailor. Sometimes I like to save the Sailor for post Slitherwisp, but we're pretty far away from that, and I think I like having all of our mana being used on each of our first several turns. Yeah, and the General is not going to be entering the battlefield. Okay, so we have our first decision now. We can flash the Octopus onto the Sailor, or we can play the Slitherwisp. I think it is correct to play Slitherwisp here, as it just provides so much value on each of our ensuing turns. You can also potentially ambush the 1/1 with it. And we do know they have quite a bit of removal, so it is possible this does not survive. Perhaps for that reason, we should have waited till the end of turn to play it, rather than trying to pick off the 1/1. Okay, so here, let's go ahead and mutate the Octopus onto the Spectral Sailor. And I think we want to draw first, because if we hit a 2-mana counterspell, we want to play the island. And since we did not, let's go ahead and scry. Heartless Act is very welcome. And yeah, we will have the shields up again next turn with the Voracious Great Shark. Okay. Unfortunately, that was picked off. Shevil, Bane of Monsters. Had a lot of text on it. Let's see. Cool. Okay, let's go ahead and draw a card. So I think I want to first Heartless Act before upkeep on the Bane of Monsters. Then let's go ahead and play out an island here. Most likely we're going to be cycling the Triome, I think. Okay. General Kudro does hit the battlefield. And we're not quite dead here, so let's go ahead, take this hit, and cycle the Triumph, see what we can find. A little bit flooded. Alright, let's swing in. We'll cycle one more. And can Cutthroat keep us alive? I don't believe so. So we'll play for one more turn. Alright, now they've got us here. Alright, and yeah, I feel like this is the correct configuration still. We'll run it back. Alright, we'll play first here. And this looks like a really strong hand. The Slitherwisp and the Octopus are two of our best cards. And here we'll have the opportunity to flash in the Cutthroat, end of turn. And hopefully we can find a keep safe. I'd love to be able to play this Slitherwisp and protect it. As it stands, though, we will probably still go for it. End of turn here. Alright, and I'm happy to see the Enforcer come down because that means we will get to play the Slitherwisp and have it survive. And now we have the ability to bounce the Enforcer when we are ready and counter something else. So let's just pass the turn. If there's nothing they play that we need to counter here, we can flash the Octopus in. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Should we put it onto the Slitherwisp? That does... Yeah, I like this actually, because then we can bounce the Enforcer as well. And even if they get rid of Slitherwisp here, we're still getting quite a good value out of this. We're playing the Octopus for cheaper, and we're drawing the card. Sure. And let's go ahead and return the Enforcer to their hand. And we'll attack first here. Alright, so we have the potential to Night Bonder plus counter something. Let's get the Castle Locthwain down and pass the turn back. Yeah, so we are going to counter this Cry of the Carnarium, keeping that Octopus alive, and also get the Night Bonder going. And yeah, with two neutralizes in hand and an extra card each turn, we are in really good shape. I'm going to go ahead and shock myself. Just give us as much mana to work with as possible. And yeah, we'll flash in... Ooh, okay. I would love to flash in the Brazen Borrower here. Oh, we can do this because we have Keep Safe as well. I was going to say we don't want to put the shields down, but the fact that we have a Keep Safe in hand makes me feel much better about this play. And I don't think we need to cycle a neutralize. Alright, and yeah, this is going to be a pretty big blowout here. I'm going to keep that Octopus safe and draw an additional card. And we can even flash this onto the Brazen Borrower here. Get more card draw going. Oh, forgot about the discount from the Night Bonder. So wasted a mana there, but doesn't actually matter. We still have both the ability to neutralize going and 3 creatures on the board. And let's go ahead and flash in the Cutthroat and Essence Scatter the General's Enforcer. Alright, that last game exactly how this one's supposed to play out for us, so a nice win there for Dimir Flash. I hope you'll join us for the next video. We're going to keep trying to find some Gyruda opponents on the ladder. If you enjoy, consider a like or subscribe below. See you next time. Bye.